That is a great sketch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, that was the first sketch for a composition with several characters there and kind of engaging more in story, what the painting was about, and so to have some action going on. So yeah, so this was the first sketch before I started with the big one.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when it began. So I thought that I was just going to do some sort of a small version of what possibly on the future could have been something bigger. But then I kind of decided, I mean, why not to do it now? And make it big and make the story happen. Yeah. So then I just decided to make it in a big scale.
And then it's the expulsion of this one person from the city.
Yeah.
Into the wilderness.
That's what is happening.
Right.
So it's it's the group and the community, and how one individual that is not welcome or not liked can be thrown out or cancelled.
This is early cancel culture.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but there are some changes that you made.
Yes.
I know, did you start the big one more or less exactly like this one and then change it, or how did you go about changing on the larger canvas?
Yeah, I mean, many of the changes they came out because it didn't look right on the big scale, and some.
You mean that it looked okay on the sketch, but
yeah, but they were not working as in the sketch in the big scale. But also the thing is that the format of the frame that I used for the big one was not exactly the same dimensions of the small one.
Okay.
So suddenly I had to start fitting things according to the format of the big one.
Yeah.
And then I had to make some changes. And there were things that also appear or became more clear on the big one. Like, for example, making everything more cold, more gray.
Okay.
So
yeah,
then,
because this is much warmer.
Yeah. It's much warmer, and there's a very kind of vibrant orange on the preparation behind, and I used very few layers to make the sketch.
Yeah.
So that appears through this thin layers. In this one, the preparation was a mix between this orange, but also a layer of some sort of greenish. So it ended up being more gray. And then I start painting on that, and then of course there was not this orange kind of vibrant color behind.
From the onset, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I started thinking that yes, it might be better to be a gray day for the Outcast. So it should be this gray, dark, cold night and forest in which he goes, in contrast with the warmth and the light that is coming from the city and its safe place within its walls.
You're using the colors to indicate the action, the psychology of the different groups, this group and that figure. Yeah,
and now I'm trying to bring that even more, so I can bring some colder colors to where the Outcast is, and then more warm colors coming from within the city, so we can have that kind of contrast. But yeah, in the sketch these people that are kind of throwing him out, they look a bit like gangsters. And the woman is naked there, and I was like, why? So, and that was also commented and criticized.
Yeah.
Like, why is she naked? And I was like, well,
It's a woman.
yeah. So I was putting too much of my own, yes, what I like, you know, and that. So, but that doesn't work sometimes with the motif of the story. So I had to put some clothes on her, and try to depict the characters, more according, the more probable,
Right.
outfit or cloth or an environment that it appears more possible.
Yeah.
So and that, I mean, sounds simple, but sometimes it takes some time. It takes some advice and criticism from colleagues and friends. So then they can point out this is not possible or this is improbable.
Yeah. Right.
And then you say, yeah, that's true. Okay, then I have to change. So, so that was the first sketch, and it served me very much for preparing myself to what was going to happen later on the big one. And I think it's very useful for anyone that could kind of compose a story, to make a sketch first, where to place the figures, have the roles and the drama kind of as clear as possible. Because when you engage on the big one, there's so much to work on there that if you don't have things more or less under control on the small one, then on the big one you can lost yourself, and well.
So it's a situation where you sort of are more concerned with the structural on the sketch, and then you start seeing that things need to be improved in terms of the psychology of the scene in the big one.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah. So it's just the first grounded into something concrete. Ground the idea into something that that you can know more or less where the figures will be placed, where's the general mood and the main structure of the composition, and then go with the big one. But definitely have something to base your work on. Yeah. So.
And now also there's the lantern there that you don't have there. I was just thinking it's how you can just with props indicate the psychology or essence of the story.
Yeah.
Because there's more light. You want to be where there's light and not cast out to darkness. Yes. You can just by that one prop you can indicate basic human nature, basically.
Yeah, and it was also I was asked where's the source of light coming from.
Yeah.
So and then I decided that I will put a lamp there so it indicates more or less where the light is coming. And it helped, but now from that sketch, now in the big one I have just added a bit extra canvas because the original size was this towards that area, so I have extended that. And,
but before you did that, did you still have the lamp there?
Yeah, it was there. Okay. It was there.
But why did you extend it?
I extended it because all the characters there looked quite tight, too much towards the corner.
Too crowded.
Yeah. Maya, a friend of mine and colleague, she made a comment on this specific composition.
Yeah.
When I after some years I unrolled it and I saw it, she said, "There's something strange here.
Yeah.
It needs more space towards the left." And then I start wondering, and I tried it on a little image to see how that extra space looked on the left, and it really worked.
Yeah.
So I think it has improved it, and then I get a bit closer to the format of what the original sketch was. So I think that that suits better to it.
And you also give the city more space, in a sense. We sort of see more of it.
Yeah.
So it becomes more dominant and more attractive as some place you would want to be.
Yes. So you get the sense of this, the gates of the city.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to work a bit more also on the blocks of stone there, and
yeah, I love it. I mean, I guess you're going to continue on it, but I love how you use the sandpaper to create the texture.
Yeah.
So don't take a route long way around it if you can just go straight to actually incorporating the structure in the way you're painting it.
Yeah, yeah. So that is working, and also this kind of brutal, big stone.
Yeah. They have some laws in the cities that are cut in stone.
yeah, and then you have kind of these straight lines, these big blocks of stone in contrast also with nature and the trees and how they are slightly bending towards where the Outcast goes. So the stake is bending a bit, the trees are bending, so and he's bending a bit too as well, while here these straight lines and these brutal blocks of stone is of course security and comfort, but also this is the city, this is clear laws, this hardness, this is civilization, and so
with its own jungle laws. That's another fascinating aspect, that you can to tell a story not just through a lot of physical action, but just with these clear straight blocks and then the crooked sort of off-angled trees as contrasts. That you can tell a story through lines, basically.
Yeah.
You don't have to have all of these gesticulations, not necessarily, or not only those. I mean,
you don't have to write on each stone that these are the laws of the city, but you can actually have the feeling of, if you approach the city, you see these big stone walls, and it's like, okay, this is hard.
So there's a sort of a subconscious message about solidity here, and everything is off, and nothing is secure, which of course frightens a lot of people when it comes to leaving the city.
yeah, of course, and I mean, there are of course these people that in the sketch are bending outside the city and sitting there on the lower part. Yeah.
What do you imagine those are doing?
Well, I mean, in the big one, I think we can just move the sketch now.
Yeah.
On the big one, yes, this people kind of sitting and living on the outskirts of the city. That man behind, like eating something that he just finds in the floor there on the trash, living in very bad situation, but still living close to the walls of the city. So, and there are many.
The man bending over there is saying, "Hey, the city's this way."
And it's like eating there. And so they prefer also they can live on the worst situation, but it's better for some to live on that not good situation, but close to the city wall. So they, of course, they don't dare to go there because that's possible death, and who knows. So
it's the opposite of what Achilles says when Odysseus meets him in the underworld. He says it's better to be he says it's better to be a slave on earth than a king in Hades. So I don't know. Well, actually, maybe that's the same thing. So maybe Achilles would be there. I don't know. Okay, forget that.
Okay. But yes, so that's a different structure. I mean, the different levels of what society is, what is to live in the city.
Yeah.
And then you have the ruler, or a guy with a high position that just.
Yeah, and that's also the thing that you change. Now you have a soldier there.
Yes.
In the sketch, as you said, it was more like a gang.
Yeah, yeah. So it was not very clear what was the role or the character.
Yeah. You know, have you read Save the Cat?
No, I haven't.
How he mentions a scene where there was a screenplay that didn't function well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the author did some things to it, and then wow, it's totally different now. And the only thing he did was that he gave each person like a visual symbol to clarify what they are. He calls it a patch and an eye patch and a limp or something like that.
Okay.
That they get a symbol that clarifies the position, like the soldier with the helmet and the dog there and the soldier clothes, right? So you get a clear idea of the authority or the character of that person.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for checking out this video from the School of Apelles. To watch the full video and access our premium library, go to caveofapelles.com/subscribe and become a $10 patron. That's caveofapelles.com/subscribe.